what's going on, people? This is HD BeenDope, and this is BeenDopeSpeaks. On this season, we'll be discussing broken dreams and how it relates to each of our guests. On today's episode, Mayila.
Alright, yo, what's good? This is HD BeenDope, and we are here with another episode of BeenDopeSpeaks Broken Dreams. Today, we got the lovely Mayila here with us today. How you feeling, yo?
I'm good. I'm blessed. Blessed to be COVID-free in this
Nah,
COVID
that's
world.
a fact. Oh, man, how you been holding up in these times?
You know, I just, I don't know. I feel like my life is pretty much the same. I'm always just making music. That's kind of like, you can do that anywhere, you know? But as far as how it's affected people, you know, my heart goes out to everyone, you know?
Definitely.
It's a real crazy time. So, but I feel like I more so feel it in terms of what other people are going through, you know?
Got you. Nah, that's very true. Has it been difficult at all finding inspiration through this, or you feel like
Man, I feel like there's more inspiration
really
now, you know, because I don't know, for me personally, I always pull from when shit is fucked up.
Yeah.
So this is a perfect time.
Yeah. I feel it.
You know what I'm saying? That's where all the good stuff comes from, you know, when stuff is not
So you just
all the way right.
the hit's still pumping.
Yeah, honestly, I ain't gonna lie. I feel more creative now just because I've been like in a bubble, you know, and like really able to like focus in and hone in. I've been making beats.
Word.
And I hate when people just say that and then they're whack. But like, I ain't gonna hold you. Like, I'm not gonna play none.
But you got some shit?
They say.
Alright, what you producing on, yo?
Logic.
Logic. Alright, fine. Okay, fine. I'm in the FL Studio. You got the new Logic, or you still on that? Okay,
Yeah, I got the new one.
Yeah. They made that shit man friendly now, like in terms of just
Super
easier
easy.
to get into. Yeah. That's dope. That's super dope. Shit.
Yeah.
Well, for background, I usually let people, you know, on the show just kind of speak to how we met. So I'll start it off, and then you can kind of just share from your perspective, right? So this goes back to sometime last year. I've been working on Broken Dreams for a little minute, and I had this record creeping for, you know, since probably like 2017, since the conception of the project, right? And I knew I wanted to make this record. I had an idea of what it was going to sound like, and my vision for the hook was it was supposed to be a male singer on the hook, and like I wrote this joint, and I was like, yeah, like I just need like a real soulful voice. Like ideally, I was like, Miguel needs to be on this, right? And then my homie Brandon came in, and I was talking to him about, you know, like, yo, I feel like we just need a soul singer. And I think at the time I was really trying to get Marco McKinnon's on the record. I was like, yo, his voice would work so well for this. And that kind of fell through. Like, he just said he was working on shit at the time. So Brandon was like, yo, you know what? Just send me the record, and I'm going to send it around to, you know, some singers that I know. And, you know, I chose to just write this, you know, blurb about the record just to really, because I know how it is when you just get records randomly. You know what I mean? I don't normally collab too often because I'm just super recluse and shit like that. So I know how it is. You just getting a random records like, nigga, what is this? But I really wanted to show like, yo, there's like real artistry behind it. It's not like, especially
I remember reading the PDF like, wow, this dude really put some time and effort.
Yeah, I just wanted that to come across that it's not like,
I could tell that like you were really conceptual about the whole project, like
100%.
as a whole, like you kind of knew what you wanted to talk about before you had the music.
Right. Yeah,
you know,
exactly how I made the project for sure.
Yeah, and I definitely read it like, wow, okay, I'm really at the.
No, but I just wanted that to get across, and I'm glad that it did. And then Brandon hit me, right? This might have been, I don't know, a couple days, maybe a week after or whatever. Brandon was like, yeah, so I got joints. I'm like, all right, bet. So he sent me, the first one he played was this dude that was singing my hook. And like, I can't sing. So he was trying to hit the notes that I was hitting. And it's like, nah, like it's supposed to sound.
You gotta elevate.
Yeah, bigger than this. This is a bad reference. I get it. But so I'm just like, damn, I'm feeling a little discouraged. But Brandon's over there just Kool-Aid smiling. And I'm like, all right, so what's the next one? Like, all right, so this is Mayila. I'm like, huh? Like, yeah, it's a girl on the record. I'm like, she's gonna be singing my shit. Was like, nah, like she's a writer and she does dope shit. I'm like, I bet. Played the shit and I was like, yo, this shit. It felt like it just took the record to a whole different place because I think the way I had it, I feel like conceptually it all fit together and it was great, but it was super linear. I think having you on it and the fact that you chose to write from that female perspective, it really made that record feel so much bigger. Like when people talk about that record, they talk about that hook. You know what I mean? That shit is infectious, yo. So I hands down give you all the praises. That shit is super fire.
You.
And then on top of that, just a little tidbit. When we linked in the studio and you played all them unreleased joints, yo, she got heat, dog. She got heat. But I speak to it from your perspective in terms of, you know, Brandon hitting you up and you getting the record. Like, how did you feel?
Yeah, I mean, for me, especially because I spend a lot of time writing songs for other people too.
Yeah.
So I was just kind of like in my what is it? My just like hamster wheel of working, you know what I'm saying? Studio hopping. And then he called me about it. But what got me invested in the song was the PDF.
Word.
You know what I'm saying? Because like you said, people just send you songs, send you records, and you know, for me, I'm just so used to producing music and making music all the time that I show up, I do it. It's like kind of a mindless thing, you know? And yeah, it just kind of really like brought me into the world of what you were talking about. You know what I'm saying? It brought me into the world of the project, and I was like, oh, okay. I could just tell you're a real creative, and that's what I really like. That's the part that I really fuck with, you know?
Nah.
So I just had fun with it. I mean, I when it comes to music, I feel like I'm at a point now where it's real easy to me. So I think the biggest thing was just like trying to get the vocals to sound how I wanted them to sound, you know? But I think
again,
it came out
you
fire.
Killed that. I feel like
Thank you.
Anybody that has heard that goes, wait, who the fuck is that? And I remember because you know, Brandon was hitting me. He was like, yeah, so did you just want her as the reference? Like, do you want me to go get somebody else? I'm like, nigga, no. Like, that's it. That's the hook. Like, no, we're not. That's just perfect as is. You know what I mean? So I'm just super happy that you was even down to work on that record, and I love it. I love.
You know what? I always appreciate an artist. You know what I'm saying? A real artist who like has vision, and I already respect you because you produce too. You know what I'm saying? Like you really just have your hands in the pot, and you know exactly what you want to do. You know.
Word. And
unfortunately, that's rare today.
No, I'm super stickler with everything. Like I don't think there's. No, not even I don't think. There is never been anything that came out from me that my hand wasn't fully inside of. You know what I'm saying? Like arranging, doing all of that. Like so that's super, super important to me. Before we get into, you know, the record that I want to break down from the project, I do want people to like understand a little bit about you. So like, how did you get your start in terms of music? Like, just give us the backstory of Mayila, the artist.
Well, I hate to do this, but my name is Mayila, and
oh, I'm fucking up.
You was fucking it up.
All right, don't even hate to do that. I apologize.
No, it's all good. It's been a lifelong journey of me trying to get people to say my name right.
Mayila, right?
It's Mayila.
Mayila.
Yeah,
I'm
like
saying that
Maya,
right.
Maya with a little bit of la.
Mayila. All right, cool. My apologies, bro. Like, honestly, I feel that's not even cool. My bad.
It's all good. But yeah, for me, when it comes to music, I've been like in love with it since before I can remember. You know what I'm saying? I started off dancing as like an infant, you know?
Word.
Like I just when I remember being alive, I remember dancing. And then I discovered I could sing at 7. And then since then I've just kind of always been obsessed with becoming great. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So it's been like a lifelong journey of developing my craft. And then professionally, back in 2016, I started interning at Atlantic, and that just kind of like gave me, it was like a propeller, you know, it kind of propelled me into a big network of people and just really helped me get my footing. And then I started writing songs. I moved to LA. I started writing for people. And all the while just building my artistry and, you know, just really becoming the person that I see myself being, you know?
Yeah.
So,
So for you, in terms of writing songs for other people, what was that moment that you realized, like, nah, I got a pen for other people? Like, because I'm assuming it started more like with you singing records,
yeah.
writing pen and records for yourself. Like, so what point did you realize, like, nah, I got a pen that other people could go crazy on?
You know what's so crazy? Before I got into the music industry, I had no idea that there was any difference between the two.
Word.
Like, I always knew that I could write songs for myself and other people. Like, I always wrote stuff that sounded like me, and I always wrote stuff that, this would be tight for blah, blah, blah. You know what I'm saying? I kind of always had that inclination. And I would say everything that I've done in the music industry has been by accident. Like, not forceful. Like when I was interning at Atlantic, people were just hearing my songs randomly. I wasn't sending them to people. Wow. They started setting stuff up for me. So I would say it just was really very natural. You know, I didn't like decide, oh, I'm about to send this song to Chris Brown. Like it just, you know, it just all kind of unfolded. And the way my story has gone, it's just shown me that all you have to do is just put in the work and let things unfold as they may, you know?
Right.
So, yeah.
Nah, that's super dope. I'm super behind all your talents. Like I'm thinking about the joints that you played, and I'm just like, yeah, damn, I don't know if some of these joints is gonna get placed or what, but it was just so hard.
Thank you.
It was just so hard. But shit. So let's get into the project, right? So as I said, this show BeenDopeSpeaks, we break down songs behind broken dreams, and the way I made this project, it's super just about life. You know what I'm saying? So I want to show how these concepts and these records actually do relate to our everyday lives. So the record I want to go over today is Superheroes. And Superheroes is a song. It's broken down, 3 different verses. It's one person writing a letter to essentially his idol, and his idol is somebody close to him. You know what I mean? Family member, cousin, whatever it may be. And in the first verse, it's him as like a 6-year-old, super childlike, and everything is about, this person is so great. Oh man, I just want to be next to this person. I just want this, And then the second verse is him as a teenager, and it's like, okay, cool. Now he says what up to me, and I look cooler, but I'm still not fully there. He's not taking me around yet, but I'm kind of close. And then it's him as an adult, and he has to look face to face to this idol essentially, and it's like, oh, you're still in the same place that you were in when I was 6. Like everything that I thought was dope about you, I'm now a grown person, and I'm realizing, oh nah, that's not how I should be moving. You know what I'm saying? And I think we all have people that we can say, like, damn, like I was enamored with somebody at this age, and now I'm older, and I'm kind of like, damn,
For sure.
yeah, superheroes don't necessarily have capes, but the underlying meaning, and I feel like we could easily go on for days about just that topic in itself, but it's a lot of deep shit that comes with that, right? But the underlying meaning of that record, Superheroes, is so the person I'm talking about in the record, I say, hey Ben, right? The person's name is Ben, and the underlying meaning is my relationship with Ben Franklin, right? Money. So when you're young as hell, having $100, it's like, yo, I even say in the song, we could go to Toys R Us and probably buy like everything, right? Like that's your mentality. If I get some money, oh, I'm about to go buy this, that, and the third. And then you get a little older, you're in your teenage years, and it's like, okay, I get some money. All right, that means I could go on a date now. I could go get some clothes. Like these are the types of things that you're interested in. And you hear that in the verse, like he's talking about, like, you know, being able to be with girls, and he got white Jordans, all this stuff, right? And then you become an adult, and somebody gives you $100. It's like, yo, what is that
What am I
about to
gonna
do?
do?
Like, what you mean 100? Like, what is that?
What am I about to do with
Yeah, what is
$100?
this? So that's really, you know, the double meaning in superheroes. So I want you to take me through your journey in terms of money and how it played a role with you in terms of your relationship. Like give me that first
hilarious.
moment when you made some money that now, if you were to look at it, like, yo, that's not really money. But
Yeah.
at that time it was something for you. Give me that moment.
Totally. Yeah. Man, I think I mean I can totally just like resonate with that whole thing. I think that's I think that's everybody's story, you know. That's just what growing up means, you know, and becoming an adult. I think the first time that I felt like I was really doing something. I used to work a lot of restaurant jobs, you know, just on the grind. And I remember my first gig, I really felt like I was making a lot of money. But the thing is that in a restaurant, you can make $100 one day and then $5 for the next 4 days.
Right. Right.
So, but that was the first time that I was ever making my own money in general. You know what I'm saying? So I think that was the moment where I was like, wow, I'm really like, you know, I'm out here spending.
Thanks.
I think though, like, as I've gone in my journey as a musician and I've started to see like some other kind of checks and, you know, especially doing things in different spaces like the sync world, you kind of realize that, wow, I really was not making any money.
Ain't that true?
You know what's so real though? It's like whenever you're working for somebody else, you're not making any money. And that's just on period, because somebody can give you $100,000 and then fire you the next day.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So
That's real.
yeah.
That's definitely real. I remember my first time like touching money on my own accord, right? I dropped this mixtape called The Gray Area on Bandcamp, right? And this is the first time I could really remember, like, this is my money. Put it out on Bandcamp, and, you know, I'm still living at the crib, all of this, trying to get this music thing off the ground, trying to make something pop. And people were, like, actually paying for the project. And I don't even know, like, maybe sales in, like, the first month or something like that might have been like $1,500, right? But in my head, I'm like, oh shit, I bet, like, I got 1,500, like, still at the crib, like, I could do something with this, you know what I'm saying?
Right. Yeah.
And getting, like, years later, I remember I started shooting videos, right? And I was just making money, like, once we actually, I was doing it with my homie, and once we actually started, like, getting into it for real, we was making money hand over fist. And it felt like, just because of how quickly it was coming, not how much, but how quickly it was coming in, it just felt like, oh snap, we doing something, right? And then I got a job. I was making beats over at Epidemic Sound, which is a Swedish company, right? And I was getting paid there, and I'm like, wait, this is different, right?
Yeah.
And then to move up into a different world, and as you said, like the sync opportunities and things like that, it's like, Oh,
They're a different world.
yeah, like y'all
There's
are
tears to
checks.
this.
Like y'all
Facts.
giving mortgages. I didn't know that. Like,
That's real.
but it's really the whole relationship. It even in terms of how I look at money, it's the idea of, yes, there's a lot of fucking money out here, but it's also how I maneuver in my relationship with money, because I think everybody that's came into some money for the first time fucked it up at least once. You know what I mean? Spent money on some stupid shit. Like, because I think when you get a lot of money in one time, there's the mentality of like, I've never had this much money. Nigga, where's it gonna go? Like, how I'm gonna spend it all? Yeah, it's like like that was my mentality. Like, honestly, the first time I had that 1,500 in my 1,500, how I'm gonna lose 1,500? Like, what can you really go spend 50? Like, because I was just so young, and it's that mentality. And then it's now, just getting a little older and just understanding how money works. It's like, all right, cool. Somebody can say, all right, here's $40,000, and my mentality, a couple years ago might have been like, oh shit, let's go. Like, what we about to do? Yeah, And now I can be in a place of like, okay, cool. Like, let's start divvying up this money. Let's figure out exactly how to make sure that this doesn't go anywhere, because it's easy for the money to go anywhere. And I think that's even with like a lot of people that win the lottery. I don't know if you like watch stories like that, but
oh, I do all the time. They
I
make
love
the
them
money,
type of documentaries.
they lose all of it.
Yeah.
But what I will tell you is that I literally just tweeted this today, because that's something that I've been focusing on, especially these past few months, is just getting even more financially literate. And I literally just tweeted this today, or yesterday, but there's no real sense of financial literacy in America, like, at all.
Right.
Like, we don't come up learning that, you know what I'm saying? And what you learn is what your parents did, and what your family did. And if they did it right or wrong, you learn it right or wrong,
Yeah, exactly.
And you have to take it upon yourself to like figure out, okay, what does investing mean? Like, you know what I'm saying? Just all this info that's just out there, but it's accessible, but it's not in your face, And I don't know, I just think it's interesting that, they kind of want us to fail,
Yeah. Nah, as you said, it's accessible, but it's definitely not like super presented.
It's not in your face.
Right. Because there's even, so as of late, I've just been in on this Robinhood tip, stock market, whatever. Just being interested. I had to account for a minute, but one of my homies, he's like super big on this. So I just been dabbling. And now that I'm in that world, I'm looking for things in that world, and just seeing how much information is just essentially just out there if you know what to look for. You know what I'm saying? It's just like, damn, like, this shit is hidden in front of your face almost.
I know.
But it's really just that idea. You have to know what you're looking for. And I think that's really the biggest issue, is that a lot of us just don't know what to look for.
Yeah. I do agree with that. I mean, I think, what with all of the influencers and, social media gurus on the subject, I feel like, although we don't know what to look for, we have a lot of people who know the ins and outs of what it means to be financially literate. And, it's nothing but a Google search away, nothing but a YouTube search away.
That's
what I'm saying? But what I will say, though, is that there's just no emphasis on it. You know what I'm saying? We don't come up just even thinking about that. Like, people are reared and groomed to work for someone else. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Like, that is the American mentality, to go to college and work for somebody else. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Why the hell would anybody go to college? I mean, I'm just saying in general. And I even went to school. I went to college.
Word. Did you finish?
No.
Likewise. Did a year and a half.
But my thing is like, yo, I owed him so much money, and for what?
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like it's all when you really just sit down and look at the inner mechanics of it, it's just like it's all a mask to hide or to blind you, you know, from you really knowing the truth and knowing what's going on and preventing you from being the 1-2%, you know, that really has the wealth and the power. You know what I'm saying? Not that's the most like important thing, but you know, money is a great tool.
Yeah, I mean, I think everybody. So I believe it's, you know, security and freedom. Everybody kind of picks which road that they want to start on. But the reality of it is we're both trying to get to the other side. You know what I mean? So the people that start with security, which is, you know, I'm gonna go get the good job and, you know, focus on getting a pension at one point, blah blah blah. You're trying to get to freedom, which is retirement. You know, that's what you see as like one day I'm gonna be able to retire and I'm gonna be able to do what the fuck I want. Freedom.
Yeah.
And then the people that start with freedom, that's like, you know what? I don't really want to work a job. I don't want to work for anybody. I'm trying to get to the other side, which is security, because at some point I want to have enough that it's just like I'm secure. I'm not worried about where I'm sleeping tonight, how I'm going to eat, all these things. So we're just all trying to get to the other side. I think America definitely grooms, as you said, people that are on security to kind of just wait it out. When there are, in terms of like you saying, financial literacy, there are ways that you can kind of speed up your process. And I don't mean speed up like take shortcuts, but there are just many avenues that's like, if you knew to put your money here or here, you would be in a further position and you wouldn't be waiting till you're 65 to retire.
To go
you know
and
what I
live
mean?
life.
Right.
Like retiring is just such a weird concept when you like really sit and think about it. It's like I worked my fingers to the bone my whole life. And now when my bones are old and rugged and crusty at 65, 70, now I can go rest.
Right.
Like that is just so backwards. Like you're not about to skydive no more. Like skydiving is out for you. Like,
no, 100%.
you know what I'm saying? It's like, bruh, you didn't live your life.
Right.
And I don't know, I do agree with that. It's definitely security, it's definitely freedom. And I think once you get past the point of security, you know, you can get to freedom. Everybody just wants to be themselves. Like that is the human nature. That is our intrinsic nature. We just want to be ourselves, you know? And like I said, money isn't everything, but it's a hell of a tool.
Nah, 100%. 100%.
You know?
Shit. But as you said, I think there is just a thing that we all need in terms of just trying to find the information. You know what I mean? Just starting it off with a simple thing, as you said, a Google search, you know, or just listening to things that's just outside of your element, just to have just different ideas in your head so that you're catapulted to different places, because that shit is necessary, that we, you know, just don't feed ourselves with the same kind of thing just because it's the easy way, you know?
Yeah.
We definitely have to seek
I
the
agree with that.
information.
100%. And I will say, you know, with us being artists and being in the creative space, like we always just want to create, you know? I look forward to the times when I can just sit down and create and do what I love to do. You know what I'm saying? But then I was looking up, just people's net worth today, just out of curiosity. And I was looking up how Jay-Z became a billionaire, because, you know, that's like recent. That was like either this year or last year, you know? Right. And they literally laid out like item by item what's making him money. You know what I'm saying? And the reality is, it's a harsh reality, but his catalog was like the fifth thing. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. It was like the fifth thing.
Yeah, and you think about how big Jay-Z's catalog is.
Jay-Z's catalog is like 20 years of music.
Yeah, hits. Hits.
And that was the fifth thing on the list. You know what I'm saying? The fifth out of like 10 things, you know? Right. So the point is that most of us, creatives especially, we see these people, you know, in the prime of their careers, and we're like, oh my gosh, you're just gonna make all the music and I'm gonna be there. But we do also have to spend the time to get educated on, you know, how do I become a business?
Right.
You know, how do I become bigger than just a music maker? How do I become a brand? You know, how do I make this space make me money when I'm asleep?
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So, you know, it's what we're saying, that the information is not like on Twitter. It's not on a Twitter scroll or an Insta scroll, but, you know, it's available and it's there. And I don't know. Jay-Z said it best. He said, I'm not a businessman. I'm a businessman.
Nah, that's a fact. That is a fact. For real. I do want to say, you know, before we wrap up, like, because the idea, being that this is a conversation, this emphasis on money in general, obviously one can find freedom without being attached to, you know, societal pressures and things like that, which is, you know, true. Obviously, you got to find that within yourself before any external things. But the reality is we do live in a capitalistic society, and in order to thrive in any type of game, you have to learn it, you have to play to it, and then you change the rules. It's not, you know, this thing where you change the rules from the outside. You have to get inside and change.
You do not. That is 100%.
Yeah. So I just really want to make sure that we get that across, just for people listening. I don't want anybody to be like, oh, they're just talking about trying to be the rich people. Nah, it's so much more than that. You know, it's so much bigger than that.
You know what? I'm on the same wavelength. I'm the, you know, manifestation, you know, called forth what you envision in your mind. You know what I'm saying? I'm that kind of person. What I do recognize is that money is a tool. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
And the reality is that the tool doesn't bring you happiness. The tool is the equivalent of a wrench, and it can build things. You know what I'm saying? It is a hammer, and it can build things. That's all that it does. And once you've built it, once you've built the house, the whatever, the how, you know, that doesn't equate to your happiness. Your true success is internal, you know. But with the more tools, the more houses I could build.
Exactly. That's a fact. That is a fact. Nah, for real.
You know.
But shit, as I said, thank you so much for even just being here. I really appreciate it. Mayila.
Yeah.
Got that right? Come on, y'all. Yeah. Come on, y'all. I'm learning. Mayila. Let people know where to follow you. And
y'all can follow me at Mayila Music on all platforms. That's Mayila Music on everything. And this was so much fun.
Nah, thank you. Thank you so much for being here. Y'all, please go check her out. The music is super, super fire. And make sure y'all go stream Creeping. You know what I'm saying? She's on that killing the fucking hook. So tune in for that. Thank you, Mayila, for being here. I appreciate your time.
Thank you for listening to BeenDopeSpeaks. Subscribe anywhere that you listen to podcasts. And make sure you hit me up on all socials at HD BeenDope. Peace.